Hi, I'm Will, and is the average penis size enough to please women? Let's talk about it here on the Geezer Guide to Better Living. Through the years, we have heard this question a lot. Does penis size matter? A lot of women say it doesn't, but a lot of people think that it does. I ran across this video that talks about it. So let's take a look at it, and I will come in here and there during the video and we'll talk about it at the end. All right?
But we're happy with average. I mean, that's what our bodies are used to. I mean, the average vagina length.
I'm gonna talk about it. What do you think it is?
My bad.
No, what is it?
When we're aroused, it gets longer. And so I want to say it was like 4.5, almost 5 inches long. Now, 4.
It's 4.
Okay.
So, but
4 inches, you said?
Yeah. So the average
okay,
vagina.
Bruh pulled that phone out pretty fast. This must have been a question that he had to ask himself or to answer, because he really had all the answers and the facts right there on his phone, ready to call out once they asked the question. This is, back in the day, in my little freaky days, I used to always wanted to know all the knowledge and all the things that you needed to know about sex. So that's a good thing that, you don't sit around and wait for and ask your partner. You can ask your partner what pleases them, but at least find out about your body and their body. All right?
Now is
interesting. That's interesting.
Said They looked at 100 women who had never been pregnant and found that vagina length unstimulated ranged from 2.75 inches to about 3.25 inches. When a woman is aroused, it increased to 4.25 inches to 4.75 inches.
So 4.5.
Regardless of how long the vagina is, the area that is thought to be most important for women's sexual response is the outer 1/3. So by that theory, wouldn't a man who has, let's say, a 4-inch pipe would be able to please a woman?
So that's very important to know, that the outer 1/3 of a woman's vagina, the inner 1/3 of a woman's vagina, is the most important part for sexual stimulation. Women have two types of orgasm. They have the vaginal orgasm, which is harder for them to use to have an orgasm, and that involves the G-spot. And they also have the clitoral orgasm. A clitoral orgasm is easier for a woman to achieve an orgasm, but it's not as strong as the vaginal orgasm.
Absolutely.
I disagree.
Go ahead, tell us.
Because so when you go back to the subject of girth, you could be 4 inches of pencil dick. You know what I mean? Like if it's not hitting the appropriate spots, then it's not really.
You're gonna be like Nemo in the ocean.
Exactly. And I think that's why a big dick is desirable,
it's
because
less room for error.
Less room for error. Exactly. Like you're more likely to hit the spot because there's a lot more dick to work with.
Absolutely.
Less room for error.
It's true that if you have a bigger penis, there is less room for error. But if a person doesn't know what they're doing with that penis, it will not be comfortable for the female, because it's still, like I said a few minutes ago, that the outer 2/3 of the vagina is the most important part, and that can be reached with your fingers. It can be reached with your tongue. Like Dr. Ruth used to say back in the day, that you can make someone have an orgasm long as you have 10 fingers and a tongue. That's what she said. And I used to always live by that. If you're not strong with your hips, get strong with your lips. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay.
So what about you, men? Let's turn it around.
Well, before,
can a vagina be too big?
So I was gonna say, like, are women even like aware of like the depth? Are you aware of the depth of your vagina?
Yes. when you go too
Like that-
deep, not you personally,
Right.
but when he goes too deep.
You know what you meant.
Okay,
You know what
thank
you
you.
meant.
Yeah, when he goes too deep and hits that cervix, it's like, ow, that does not
No,
feel
and I don't
good.
know any woman that actually wants that unless they just into pain.
Right.
This is just my observation in my sexual history that yes, some women can be a little too deep because women that have had a lot of children, women that have had boyfriends before you that have had big members, and also these days a lot of women have toys. And back in the day when they used to say that toys and dildos and other things like that can ruin you, it's true. It can make you not be able to have sex with a regular sized person. You always need that girth and that size and that length, because a regular person will not be able to please you because your vagina has been basically stretched out. But they say that usually if they can have a baby, it can always contract back to being smaller. But if a person is constantly doing these things, or they are constantly looking for Mr. Goodbar, they don't want a small. So it's no use. I believe that you can be a little too deep. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Does like, okay, so here's a serious question. Doesn't the ocean and the motion play a factor though? Because you could be 10 inches and just be stabbing,
Right.
Absolutely.
right? And you can be somebody who is 6 inches and you also, but his motion is better.
Oh, it absolutely makes a difference.
Right? Because so the ocean and the motion, the motion in the ocean plays a factor.
Absolutely.
All right, the motion in the ocean is great if you are vibing and both of y'all are active into the sexual act, and you're not with a pillow princess. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. If a woman who wants a man to make her come and not active in getting her own orgasm, she just lays there and wants you to basically hump a corpse. So there's no motion in her ocean. She want all you do all the work, and that's not a good thing. I think that if both people are into it and they both are verbal about what they want and they both are physically fit, that it'll happen. All right. This is the Geezer Guide to Better Living, and I'm Will. And thank you for watching this video. Give me a comment down below, and we can get a discussion going. All right. Thank you. Be sure to check out both of my web pages. I'm billthebarber.pixels.com on Fine Arts America, and on Redbubble, I am Geezer Art.